I'm getting distracted again. I could hear the dog barking, and I'm thinking, uh-oh, there's an animal around or something. So I go over to where the dog was hanging out behind the trailer, because I used to always sleep in my tent, and my family would sleep in the camper. I liked camping in tents more, so I would, rather than having to share a rather small camper with the rest of my family, I could just sleep in my own tent, and it was great. I preferred it tenfold. So, I left my separate campfire from the rest of the family, and went over to see what was up with the dog. Well, the dog was tied up, right? Because you don't want your dog running loose in an area that you don't know particularly well. It's just not in general a very good plan, right? So we had the dog tied up, and I see a deer. And now this deer is sitting there eating her food. Camping is intense? Yeah, I know. So I'm like sitting there and I'm watching this deer just like munch on the dog's food. And the dog is freaking the fuck out. Like, she is pissed. And then I realize the dog isn't chasing the deer. The dog is tenfold. Fuck you and your opinion. And the dog's like as far away from the deer as she can get. She's terrified of this deer. Well, I start kind of chuckling to myself a little bit. I'm like, this is really funny. The dog is terrified of this deer. And then I realize about 4 feet away from the deer, there was a raccoon that was also taking the dog's food. The deer and the raccoon are literally just taking turns taking this dog's food. They're like tag team stealing this poor dog's food. And I don't know what they did. I eventually like shooed the deer away, and then the raccoon just kind of pieced after that. But I don't know what they did to make the dog so scared. But like my old dog Allie, for a little bit of context here, was a standard poodle. Yeah, she was a poodle, but she was a big dog. Like a big dog, like would come up to your waist. And she used to chase bears and shit. So I have no idea why she was so terrified of these animals. But she was petrified and like freaking out and like wailing and whining. It's kind of insane.